All right, it's time to go over our early kind of big board of these quarterbacks in the 2025 NFL Draft. I'm not going to waste a lot of time here. We're going to get right into the video, but I have 12 guys that I want to talk about. This is kind of my early impressions of what I'm seeing out of these quarterbacks and where we kind of expect them to go. I have ranked them the top 12. As of right now, a lot of things can happen in the offseason and in the combine. There's a lot of things that can happen that could shake up these rankings. This is my early on first time coming out here with the big board for my 2025 quarterbacks. First quarterback I'm going to talk about here has got to be Shedeur Sanders, right? Shedeur Sanders, he's an exceptional processor, with advanced understanding of defensive concepts, making pre-snap adjustments and just working through his progressions quickly, elite accuracy in the short and the intermediate range. He's got outstanding poise under pressure, and he's able to maintain correct mechanics and accuracy when under that pressure, right? He has a quick and a compact release with a consistent throwing motion, good athleticism, and good speed, but more of a pocket passer than a runner. He's more of a natural leader, right? And I think he really holds on to the ball a little bit too long for my liking right now, but that's a lot of things that he can get coached out of, right? Depending on what team he goes to, whether it be the Giants or the Raiders. I don't think he wants to go to the Giants, though. Let's just call a spade a spade. It could it be the Jets that trade up for him? There's a lot of opportunities out there for Shedeur Sanders, but he's got a nice pedigree behind him, right? With Deion Sanders being his father, playing at the University of Colorado with his father and Travis Hunter up there. So he's going to go to an opportunity, right? If he goes to the Raiders, he's going to have Brock Bowers to throw the football to, right? If he goes to the Giants, he's going to have Malik Neighbors to throw the football to. If he goes to the Jets, he's going to have Garrett Wilson to throw the football to. So he should have a nice prime option no matter where he ends up. I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars will have the first pick of the draft, and there's going to be a lot of teams trying to trade up and take that pick to grab Shedeur Sanders, but he is my number one quarterback on the board as of right now. Talking about the number two quarterback, I got to go Cam Ward, right? This is going to be a quarterback, he has an elite arm with an ability to make throws from various positions, right? Exceptional improvised skills with the ability to extend these plays, right? He does have a pass first mentality, but he's not scared to run the football when needed. He's got a quick release and has that kind of, let's say Brett Favre like ability with threading those passes into tight windows. He seems to perform quite well in high pressure situations. He displays good leadership skills as well. Now he needs to clean up the consistency of his throwing mechanics. I see that from time to time, kind of breaks down a little bit, but that again could be coached. He's one of these quarterbacks that I think he could come in and be the starting quarterback from day one. But I think for his long-term success, I could probably see him be more of a quarterback that's maybe learning behind somebody like the New York Jets, learning behind Aaron Rodgers before Cam Ward is actually able to take over in the helm. I think Shedeur Sanders is really the only quarterback that's quarterback ready to go in there right now and start. Cam Ward is another guy that he could do so. I just think if he could develop just a little bit, even half the season, it would help Cam Ward quite a bit. So this is when it kind of gets dicey, right? I know there's a lot of rankings all out there, but I think my third quarterback on the board right now got to be Quinn Ewers, right? Quinn Ewers out of the University of Texas, 6'2", 210-pound quarterback. He's one of those quarterbacks that you have to look at and say, hey, look, he plays at the University of Texas. He's got a lot of things that he can do. Strong arm, right? I think he delivers with high velocity. He's able to do a lot of good things on the field. He's got, he's not really afraid of the big play. He plays at University of Texas. And one of the things that I do have to talk about Quinn Ewers is that he had Manning come into town and he wasn't scared. He didn't back down. He didn't go into a transfer portal. He didn't do any of that stuff. He didn't whine or complain. He got in there and he played football. And he can play some high level type of football. We're seeing over 300 yards passing in quite a few of these games. He's got a lot of weapons out there, able to deliver the football and be a leader on the field. And that's really what you're looking at when you're talking about what a franchise quarterback could be. I think Quinn Ewers has what it takes. He's easily the number 3 quarterback on my board as of right now, this early on for my big board of my quarterbacks in 2025. So could be a shocker here, but I think my fourth quarterback right now, Jackson Dart, right? Jackson Dart, quarterback out of Ole Miss, 6'2", 225 pounds. Dart's a quarterback that I like quite a bit, actually. He displays a good arm that's capable of delivering throws with an impressive velocity at intermediate and deep levels. Dart shows excellent arm flexibility. He can adjust throws and the angles of those throws and those release points almost seamlessly, right? I would say that Dart is a master of the RPO and the play action game. Dart's an explosive runner who quickly accelerates, which makes him an amazing dual threat type of quarterback. He exhibits good anticipation, threading passes into those tight windows with confidence. Dart consistently shows that he can deliver accurate throws while under pressure. So this is one of those quarterbacks that I'm kind of excited about, more of a project type of quarterback that really has some capability and some ability with the dual threat that he has going on that could really succeed in the NFL today. So I think that I had to put him up here at number 4 for me, you know, leapfrogging a lot of these quarterbacks that other people have maybe higher on their rankings. But I think right now, just looking at the tools of the trade for Jackson Dart, I just like what I see, and maybe if I dive a little bit more and after combine numbers and things come out, things possibly could change. But as of right now, I had to go number 4, Jackson Dart. So number 5, what we're going to talk about here. Let's go to LSU quarterback. We're going Garrett Nussmeier, right? This is a quarterback right here. He has an elite arm talent with strong ability to make all of the NFL throws. I can see some nice touch on those deep balls that he throws, which is a nice ability to have in the NFL. Nussmeier demonstrates advanced football IQ and ability to read defenses effectively. You know, it's kind of refreshing to see a quarterback with this quick release and the combat throwing motion, which allows him for having, you know, that rapid decision making. You know, it just makes him more accurate overall. He displays natural leadership and the ability to have high character and a strong work ethic. He's a gunstringer mentality, right? So we kind of like to compare him to these Patrick Mahomes / Brett Favre types of quarterbacks. Nussmeier can make it, right? Now, he had a lot of people that left in the NFL draft, whatever the case. I think Nussmeier would do better if he ended up staying in college. As of right now, I'm ranking him as if he is coming out into the NFL draft and declaring for that. He has not declared for the NFL draft yet, and he has not said if he was going to go back to LSU or not. I think he needs to do a little bit more developing, go back to the NFL, go back to LSU, do some more work, continue to develop, and then come out next year. That's just my opinion. But if he comes out right here, I've got him here at number 5 for me. Come here at number 6, we're going Dillon Gabriel. Now, this is a quarterback out of Oregon. You know, he has a really good mental process at both pre and post snap. He shows the ability to diagnose defense coverages, coupled with excellent timing and anticipation on his throws, especially on out routes, right? I'd say that he's slightly above average, right, in his arm talent, and he does possess mobility to extend plays and create outside of the pocket opportunities. Gabriel does display a nice touch on his deep balls as well, and I see him consistently have the ability to climb up in the pocket while keeping his eyes downfield. This is one of those guys, he's brought his team to into the playoffs, right? I think Oregon taking over from Bo Nix was kind of a lot to ask, right? He ended up transferring over there, ended up now playing with Oregon, and he's doing a really good job, right? So he's a quarterback, could be another one of those projects. He needs to sit behind somebody, not NFL ready, I would say right now, but he has the mechanics and the throwing ability to get the job done as long as he's coached up and can continue to develop. So coming up right here at number 7 for me, I'm going to say Jalen Milroe. So Milroe is a quarterback out of Alabama, 6'2", 225 pound. He's a burly quarterback, right? I really see it's like an Anthony Richardson type of player that can actually throw the football, right? Milroe has elite athleticism, displaying explosive speed and agility. Milroe doesn't mind tucking the football and actually running. You see Milroe consistently using a strong arm as the ball generates a ton of velocity that could translate into all of your NFL throws. He has good playmaking ability, and when the play around him really starts to break down, and he keeps his eyes downfield, he looks to make a play, and he wants to make that happen quite successfully, right? I like watching him use those pump fakes, using his eye manipulation to move that defense, and it could obviously lead to a lot of plays. Now, coming down the stretch, you saw Milroe kind of struggle in some of these games and not really lead his team to victory, which ultimately led Alabama not to make the NCAA playoffs. So what are you getting out of Jalen Milroe? Does he go back to the University of Alabama? I don't think he goes back to Alabama. I think right now he's got to look at the whole situation and see that Alabama's not what they used to be. Right? They don't have Nick Saban there anymore to really develop these players. He needs to come out to the NFL while he can, because his stock could plummet if he doesn't have a good season next year at the University of Alabama. So he comes out here. I think my last mock that I mocked down, I think he had him down to the Miami Dolphins in the first round. I don't think that's a bad comp, but right now on my rankings right here, I have him at number 7. There's just a lot that I want to see from him, and I hope that he can develop even further. So we're along here at number 8, another quarterback that I had super high on my rankings. Not anymore. That's Carson Beck, right? Quarterback out of Georgia. So Carson Beck, he has that big prototypical size, 6'4", 220 pounds, that you really want to see when you see an NFL quarterback, right? He has a quick, compact throwing motions with tight velocity in his passes. Beck displays an excellent touch, right, and accuracy at all levels of the field. I do enjoy seeing his pre-snap diagnosis skills with a high ability to identify key matchups and adjust protections. Beck shows nimble footwork into the pocket and with the ability to evade pressure while keeping his eyes downfield. His ball placement, I would say, is elite and usually very intelligent as he goes through his progressions to limit these turnovers. Now, he's having a very uncharacteristic amount of interceptions here as of late, and he needs to clean that up if he wants to be successful in the NFL. A lot of these quarterbacks have a lot of talent, but if you don't know how to protect the football, you're not going to play. These coaches don't want you on the field if you're throwing these interceptions. And man, I thought he was going to come out last year. I had him in my rankings for my quarterbacks last season. He ended up going back to the University of Georgia, wanting to kind of prove some more, I guess. And I think his stock is absolutely plummeted. Beck is somebody that I'm almost writing completely off of my board. I don't want him in fantasy football. I think his decision making, it needs to improve. He needs to get into a good situation where I think that he needs to sit behind some type of veteran and really learn. I don't even think it's 1 year. I think he has multiple years. He needs to sit behind somebody, learn, and then maybe he can get himself a shot in the NFL. So let's move right along here. At number 9, I'm going Kurtis Rourke. So this is a guy out of Indiana, 6'5", 223 pounds. He has very good anticipation with his throws, and he consistently can hit the receivers right before their breaks. He has a silky smooth mechanic with consistent footwork and NFL-ready throwing motion. I enjoy watching the touch he places on the football while throwing back shoulder passes and corner routes. Rourke can give effective shoulder fakes while maneuvering defenders with his eyes. He has a clean and compact release with little wasted motion, which helps him get into the ball. It helps to get the ball out quickly and effectively. So he seems to be a natural field general who commands pre-snap adjustments and can move protections pretty much where he needs them. And at 6'5", he's a towering quarterback. Again, another project, somebody that I want to see get into a good coaching situation so you can kind of coach him up how to be an NFL, how to be a pro. He's got the mechanics, he's got the footwork. He has the ability to have some success in the NFL, but I had to put him here at number 9 for me. I just think he's a little bit more of a project. He needs some work, but he's a nice, big, burly type of quarterback. Not really burly, but he's a big stature of a quarterback, and he could probably get the job done. He just needs some coaching around him. So we're going to quickly just move around here, go into our next quarterback here. At number 10, we're going Drew Allar, the quarterback out of Penn State. Now, this is a guy, another one of those 6'5", 238-pound quarterbacks. Certainly looks the part of being an NFL quarterback, right? With that prototypical 6'5" frame. So I'd say Allar he has a big time arm talent, which allows him to push the ball down the field to all 3 levels. He possesses a quick release, which gives him the ability to get the ball out rapidly when under pressure. He has good pre-snap recognition, and he does show anticipation on timing routes. He seems to thrive mostly against zone coverage, a true pocket passer, and willing to stand tall in the pocket in order to deliver the football. Now, what I've seen in some of these big games, I think against Clemson and all these games, he's just not showing up the way we want him to show up, right? He can put up some stats, but he doesn't really look like he's commanding the huddle right now and willing his team to win. So that's my only knock I have as of right now. But again, this is one of those guys that I want to see some more tape on. I want to see some more film on. I want to see what he does. I'm hoping at the combine and seeing if he can kind of sway me and raise himself on my rankings a little bit further. So we're right along here at number 11. We're going Cade Klubnik. So this is a quarterback out of University of Clemson, 6'2", 210-pound quarterback. He's a dual threat quarterback, right, with good escapability. I like his mentality, as you can, frame it as a gunslinger who likes to zip balls into those tight windows. He has a nice arc on his deep balls down the field, especially on back shoulder fades. Klubnik demonstrates good pocket presence and the ability to extend plays with his legs. He's a natural leader with a proven track record of success at multiple levels. No matter where he's been a winner, right? And he didn't do terrible at the University of Clemson, right? I mean, he ended up willing his way the last spot, I would say, almost into the NCAA playoffs, and we'll see how he performs in there. He was able to come away with a victory against Penn State. So there's a lot of things that you like about Klubnik. He has success. He knows how to win, and I'm curious to see where he goes into the NFL draft. I'm not looking for a high draft pick whatsoever for him, but if he's in a good situation, he could succeed, maybe be a good backup quarterback in the NFL. We'll have to wait and see. Last guy we got here, coming at number 12 guy for me, is going to be Riley Leonard. This is one of those quarterbacks that started at Duke, ended up transferring over to University of Notre Dame. But Riley, he has that next level type of ball placement and the arm talent. He's a 6'4", 216-pound quarterback. He consistently connects with targets in stride on vertical routes and has football IQ to read and exploit defensive schemes. Leonard has the ability to make plays even when the play is breaking down, and despite his 6'4" frame, Leonard surprises defenses consistently with his speed. He ran track in high school, and it really shines through. You can see that fearlessness, right, with Leonard, and that's evident as he remains extremely composed under pressure. He has an impeccable internal clock and can just thrive against a blitz-hungry defense. He should do well as a mobile quarterback in the NFL that is starting to favor more of NFL mobile type of quarterbacks, right? So he's one of those guys, right? He can identify those blitz packages pre-snap, and he's able to get the ball out. If he has to do a swing route or a check down, he's able to do that and not pick up the sack. Riley Leonard does that incredibly well. I think he did really good at Duke. He's another one of those guys I actually had in my rankings in 2024. He ended up going back into college, transferring over there to University of Notre Dame, and they're not really known for their pass-happy type of attack, so it kind of hurt his numbers overall, right? But Riley Leonard is a good quarterback, and I just like to see where he lands in the NFL draft. But guys, that is really my big board for the quarterbacks of 2025. That's my top 12 as of right now. A lot of things can change throughout the offseason as I see they wrap up these NCAA playoffs and the combine happens. A lot of good things happen. NFL Pro Days. A lot of things need to happen, and these rankings can switch all over the place, right? Because make sure you guys hit the like button, hit a subscribe button. We are starting to pump out a bunch of information, not only for the end of the season here in 2024, but I'm going to help you guys get prepared for seasons 2025, right? If you're in a dynasty league, this is the channel you need to do. So make sure you're smashing that subscribe button. Make sure you guys leave a comment down below. Is there a quarterback that I left out of my top 12 that you believe I should be covering here on this channel, or at least placing into my top 12 that I might be sleeping on? Let me know in the comments below. We're pumping out so many videos at this point, right? We're smashing multiple videos. Like I said, not only for you to win a championship this year, but for you to win championships year after year. I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.